Right, so again, my name is Kate. I will be going over designs with you. Again, we're going to take a look at creating some marketing pieces within Command, primarily focusing on a social post, so a social graphic, and how to post that to your social platforms through Command, as well as taking a look at an email signature and how to create that and add that to your Gmail. Everyone's going to remain muted for the class, but please do not hesitate to throw questions into the chat. I will pay attention to those, as well as stop and read them. So don't be afraid to put those in there. If you do see me skip a question, don't worry. Sometimes I will come back to one if it's going to take a little longer, or if it doesn't pertain to exactly what we're doing, we will have time at the end for any additional questions. I do see one though. Should I be logged into KW Command? If you want to follow along, you can certainly have Command pulled up. However, if you want to pay attention and come back later, you can certainly watch the recording. That's totally up to you. But let's go ahead and get into Command. So if you're not familiar with Command, if you're looking to access Command, you're going to go to agent.kw.com. That is your Command platform. Now that will bring you to a screen that looks similar to this, and we're going to go ahead and sign in. I like to point out a couple things when signing in. Your username is not case sensitive, so if you're missing a capital letter or something like that, it's not going to flag you as invalid. However, if your password is not exactly as it's supposed to be with capitals, exclamations, whatever else, it will give you an invalid password. And we do recommend hitting that little eyeball to see your password. And then also checking to make sure you don't have a space. Sometimes when you copy paste, it will add a space before or after, which will also cause that to fail as a login. So once you have this, we're going to go ahead and hit sign in now. And from there, we are brought to our Command home screen. Now, yours may look a little bit different than mine, and that is totally okay. These are semi-customizable within Command. So from time to time, they do look a little bit different from each dashboard, but not to worry. The first thing that we want to do for today's class is we want to head over to designs because that is where we are going to focus primarily on. In order to access designs, you can hover over these little applets on the left-hand side until you find the one you're looking for. Or you can hit the red and white KW and it will expand that bar so you can see them all at once. Now again, we're headed to designs. So that kind of looks like a paintbrush with like a canvas or a paper behind it. And that's the one we want to click on. Now, once we're in designs, again, you're going to notice yours is probably going to look different from mine. The reason for that being is if you have not yet created any designs, you won't have anything here. However, I've been in here for quite a while and designs is one of the things that I utilize a lot. So I have a lot in here. These are going to be my designs that are showing as anything I've created. So I can look through those. I can search, filter to find something I'm looking for. The filter is primarily going to focus on the different types of designs you can create. So as you can see, there are 4 different kinds you can create. You can also filter by old or new if you want to sort those to show the oldest or newest first. And you can even change the layout if you'd like them to display like this instead. You also have an import design option here, which allows you to import a design. I actually clicked on that and I want to go back for a second. And you can also hit the create a design. So we're going to click on create a design so we can see what that looks like. Now, when you click create a design, it's going to ask you, are you creating an email design, a social design, print, or video? Now, the reason it asks you this here is that some of the templates are different depending on what you click on. These 2 in the center, social and print, are going to use a lot of the same templates. However, email is going to be its own, and they are strictly for email campaigns to be sent. And then you have video, and those are just video. We will probably take a look at that today if we have time as well, just so you can see that. The social and print, again, for social posting, anything that you might print out and use that way. Now, once we select one, we're going to focus on social for today. So I'm going to pick that one and hit next. Now, once we select that one, it's going to bring us to the same place that it would if we were to hit that import button. So as you can see, it brings us into projects. Again, these are my projects that I've created in the past. It's showing them all here the same as it was on the last page. But I also have a few other options here. I can start from scratch and create a design, choose a template. I can import and edit a PDF. I can also just remove a background from a photo. So you can also use that. At the top, you'll notice that we have templates, images, my projects, and assets. You can also search for projects and use ChatGPT and more in here as well. The KW up here, you may have a drop-down if you're on a team, so just keep that in mind. There are team designs as well. The first thing that we want to do, though, before we actually jump into our design is we want to take a look at our assets. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that first. The reason I like to take a look at the assets first is because these are the things that make it easier to create the design, such as logos, headshots, different type of text that you might use on a regular basis, things like that. So we'll just go through these one by one, and then we'll jump into actually making a design. So first you have the Keller Williams Realty assets. Those are going to be Keller Williams provided assets. So their color scheme, their color palette, they have different texts that are theirs that they allow for you guys to use. They also have images added. These are mostly stock images that you can use for different pieces of marketing. You'll notice they have folders, and within those folders, they also have more designs. So if we were to look at apps, they have a lot of pictures for your app if you're trying to promote that. You also have like lifestyle activity photos, house exteriors, different things like that. So if you're creating a graphic that's not specific to a property, you can certainly come in here and use these. They also have text. Now, this is just their disclaimer, the owner statement. Each office is independently owned and operated. Then we have logos. Now, these are going to be the Keller Williams provided logos, not your Market Center specific logos. So you'll notice they have like Keller Williams University. I think just Red Day is in the events. You also have miscellaneous, which I believe is your NAR and equal housing, labs, generic Keller Williams logos that you can use. And then this one is new. I don't remember seeing this one. But there's nothing in it yet. So maybe something that's coming that will be new. Then you also have elements. Now, elements are going to be similar to certain icons or symbols that you're using. Again, these are generally things that you're going to use on a regular basis, and it's easier to have them in your assets than to have to like upload them every time you want to use them. So just think of it that way. Videos, I don't believe they have any, and then files is their style guide and design addendum. Now, you also have the ability to add your own assets. Colors, if you have branded yourself as a solo agent or a team, and you have a set color scheme or color palette that you'd like to use for all of your marketing to stay consistent, you can create your own color palette within the assets. So that way you can easily pull those colors into your designs every time you create something. You can also pull in your fonts. So if you have a font that you like to use on a regular basis, definitely put that in here. It just makes it faster for you to create designs in the future. Images. This is going to be where you want to, I don't generally have logos in here, so I'm going to remove those. This is where you kind of want to keep your headshots, photos that you're going to use on a regular basis. Again, we primarily say headshot, but if you're a team and you need that, you can also include that here. You can remove a background. If you upload a photo, you can easily just click remove background, and it will do exactly what it did to Scott's here, and it will remove that background. So super easy if you're trying to use your headshot for different pieces of marketing and don't want all of that behind you. You can also create folders. As you can see, I have one up here. Text, this is a great place for you to keep anything you're using often. For example, your KW branded app, your Market Center license information, your Market Center address, your website, anything like that that you're typing onto marketing frequently, you want to put it in here. It just makes it easier for you to pull it into your designs. Logos. This is where you would put your Market Center specific logos. If you're not familiar where to access those, we'll take a look real quick. Those can be accessed on KW Connect. Now, KW Connect is not to be confused with the Connect that is within your command platform. So this one here is different from kwconnect.com. At some point, they may merge those. We're not 100%, but for now, they are two separate things. To access your logos, though, if you come to kwconnect.com and go to resources, you can then come down to marketing. And once that loads, the first option there is logos and branding. So we're going to select that. And from there, if we scroll down just a little bit, you'll notice that there's a search bar. This is going to allow you to search by your Market Center number or your Market Center name if you're not sure. So I'm just going to pick a random number today. So 654, as you can see, there is just one. However, if we were to pull one that was like 10, and oops, we'll just do 10 or 102. You'll see that it's pulling any of the Market Centers that has that number in there if there are multiples. So from there, you would then want to make sure whichever one you're pulling is correct. So you can preview it. We're going to go with this one here. So we can preview the logo, make sure that's the correct one that we're looking for. And once we know that that's the right one, we can then download. And it's going to download an entire folder to our computer. And it's going to have various logos in there. So let's just take a quick look at that. Now from there, I have the folder on my computer, and there are a few different folders within there. I primarily look at the black and white and the CMYK. If I click on the black and white, you'll notice when I'm looking at these, there are various formats and colors to that logo. So you'll notice this one has a white background behind it. You'll also notice these do not. These are transparent backgrounds. So anything I were to put them on, the background would stay whatever is behind it. So then I can add these to my assets. We'll do that in just a second. We're also going to go back and look at the other folder. So as you can see in here, there's again a couple different variations and formats that we can use. So again, a white background behind the logo, transparent, and a couple of different colors. Now, once we're good to go, we can go back into our assets, and I'm going to create a new folder. And what was the office I just grabbed? ID partners. We're going to hit OK. And I'm going to go into that folder and upload those from my device. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of these. And then I'm going to add more. Same thing, my device. Back. And I'm going to go into the colored ones, grab those as well. Now you'll notice I have all 7 files included. I can then upload. And it's going to add those into my assets. Now, no matter what design I'm creating, I can easily grab those logos and pull them into my design. And it doesn't matter if I need one with transparent or one that's in black font. I have all of them in there. So it makes it super easy. I'm going to check questions in just a second, guys. I do see them coming in. Elements, again, if you have a specific icon or symbol that you're using frequently, if you have these same elements, but you want them in a different color, you can certainly include those. Videos you use often, and then if you have any PDF files that you're using frequently, you can add them here. Before we continue, I'm just going to take a quick peek at the questions. Let's see. Door tag. Yeah, the door tag, any kind of thing like that that you would be printing, you would want to look under print. And we can take a look at those at the very end after we've gone through everything else. Yes, Command is your one-stop shop for pretty much everything. So it does a lot. Yes, I entered the Market Center number. So this would be your specific office number or the name of your Market Center. We're going to come back to the tasks at the end. I'm not ignoring you, but I'm going to come back to that one. Those logos, if you're wanting to edit your KW logos, you would want to pull them into a different platform and edit the colors. Unfortunately, this platform does not allow you to color them. But if you're wanting to find the various ones that they offer, that's on KW Connect. And if you need me to go over that again, we can come back to it. I'm happy to do that. Let's keep going though. Next thing I want to do, now that our assets are all set, we have everything in there that we're using often, we can go ahead and take a look at the templates. So templates is where you're going to find the pre-made templates that KW has put together for you to use. Now that is not to say that you cannot completely change them. So if you find a coming soon and you want to use it for an open house, you can totally do that. This is just their templates that they have that are an idea for you guys. Now, once we're in the templates, you'll notice that there's a lot of categories, and then there are some subcategories within that. So, for example, if we're looking at, let's look at holiday. So if we look at holiday, you'll notice that they have different months. And if we were to click on June, because it's June, you'll notice that there are various different holidays within here that you can use designs for. Now they do update them. So sometimes they throw in new Father's Day ones or new Juneteenth or Pride or whatever it is. And you can come in here and grab those and use those. So it makes it super easy. These holiday ones are great because there's not a ton of customizing that needs to be done unless you want to. Let's go ahead and, since we're doing a social design, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these real quick. So I'm gonna just do the Father's Day one here. I like this one with the dad and daughter. So we're gonna go ahead and hit use. Now, once you're in here, you'll notice that there's a ton of different options. So we'll kind of jump through those and just look at those. So from starting at images, you'll notice that again, we have more subcategories. So stock images are exactly what they say. They're stock photos. Workspace is going to be those KWRI provided assets that we were just taking a look at. So you can find their stock photos. And then you have my assets. So that's where you can find your photos that you've included. Same for text. They're going to have add new text, banners, which are a little bit fancier. Then you have the KWRI provided asset and then yours. So each of these is going to have a similar thing. So workspace is the KWRI assets, and then you have yours. Same thing here. You have stock photos, so you can look for different icons or elements. Then you have the KWRI and yours. The KWLS is so you can pull in listing information from any listing. Now this is going to search for every MLS or every listing. So if you are looking for yours specifically, we generally recommend searching by a MLS number or listing agent, just so you can find yours a little bit faster. Animation can be added to designs that are not flat images. So for example, if we're creating this image here to put on social media, we can certainly add some animation to this. So when it posts to social media, it's more of a video or a short GIF, for example. So we can certainly take a look at that. And then you also have support down here if you have questions or need assistance. But let's go ahead and get this edited. So we're going to start with the logo since it's right here. I'm going to grab my new logos that we grabbed today. And as you can see, we can kind of play around and see which one looks the best. So it just depends on your design or your eye. If we use one of these, it is going to have that white background. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. And as you can see, I'm using the double arrow to replace that. I've clicked on the image I want to replace, and I'm using the double arrow to replace. What that does is it puts that logo in that exact same space, so that I don't have to worry about resizing it. I can, of course, resize it if I want it to be bigger, but otherwise it's going to put it in that same box. Now you can also delete this, add a new logo altogether if you want to. It's going to put it really big on the front when you add a new one. All I did to do that was click on the image. I can still resize it, move it around. You can also delete it if it was an accident. Now I like this image, but I also still wanted to say Happy Father's Day. So I'm going to add that to it by coming to text and saying add. And I'm just going to do title. And we're going to put happy. And now that's really big and looks crazy right there. So we can, of course, resize that. We can stretch the box out, change our text. Now that's way too little. We can also space this out however we want. So again, super customizable in here. I'm centering it. Again, I can still make it bigger if I want to. Yeah, that's 62. Let's try this one. So you are free in here to play around, edit this, make it your own. You don't have to use exactly the image that they gave you. So that is a great part. This is basically just a design space for you to make your own marketing, whatever that looks like. You could even move this image over if you wanted to, however you want to do that. Background, if we don't like the gray, we can change the background to a different color. We make it white. We can undo any of that good stuff. We can change our text here as well. Again, if you had your own assets for text, or I'm sorry, that would be fonts. Those will pull up. Never mind. Those should allow us to pull them here. So if you change this, oh no, that's language. Sorry guys, they've recently kind of made some changes to the design space. So every time I come in here, it looks a little bit different. Let's make this here. We're not gonna play around with this one too much more, so we can keep going, but once I've got this how I want it, I can add a photo of myself or my information or whatever I want as well. Since it's just Happy Father's Day, I'm not going to add any of that. Once I'm done though, if I do want to add some animation, I could do that really quickly. All I do is click on whatever I'm trying to animate and come over here. You can bounce in, swing in, whatever you like that you want to do. I'm going to leave this one. Once I'm done and I have my design how I want it though, I can go ahead and hit this download button. Now, if I'm downloading this just as a photo and I don't want the animation, I can do it as a JPEG or PNG. If I want to change it to the video so the animation will show, I can go ahead and switch that to download video and GIF. And once I have that how I want it, I can go ahead and hit download. Now, as you can see, it's downloading over here on the left, and now it's all done. It's put it up here. So before we move into the email signature, I just want to show you guys how we actually post this to social media now. So we'll go ahead and hit done. Now it's going to save this design for me. As you can see, it's right here now on the front. I can come back to it, make edits to it, whatever I need to do before I post it. So just know that you can always come back. Now, before we get started on campaigns, you do want to make sure you are connected to Facebook through social posting. That can be found under settings. And you want to make sure this post scheduling is turned on and you are connected to an account. You don't have to worry about Ads Manager anymore. That has moved to a different location, but this one right here needs to be connected. If you're also looking to post to Instagram, you want to make sure that is connected. And if you use Twitter, you can also connect that one to use it as well. Your Instagram does need to be linked to your Facebook, and they do need to be business accounts in order for you to post. But once you're connected, we're going to head into campaigns. And once we're in campaigns, we're looking at social posts. So I'm going to do create a campaign and social. Now the difference in social and paid I am paying for. Social is just advertising to my business page. That means people I follow or that like my page are going to see that. I can also share it different ways through that. But it's not a paid for ad. So just keep that in mind. Once we're here, you'll see social posts. We have the accounts that we're posting to selected. So I can select all of them if I want to. I can select just 2 of them. You'll notice over here on the right, if I were to remove the Instagram, I just have a preview of Facebook. However, if I click that Instagram one, I also have a preview of what that's going to look like, just because they are slightly different. Then I get to add my content. So this what your contacts, I'm sorry. So I can't type today. We'll just put Happy Father's Day. I was going to put something else, but we'll just keep it simple and sweet. You can add your gifts here if you want to. We can just add dad. I don't know why everybody does, like ties, so we can add that, barbecue, whatever. But you'll see over here in real time, it's updating so that I can see what that looks like. Also notice if you come down, you see it down here for Instagram as well. Now from there, we also want to add our media. So this is our photo or video that we're using. If we do browse designs and you try to pull it in from designs, we find that it often doesn't work. So it's best to download and upload. Just going between those 2 platforms, it doesn't quite work as well. Now we have our video though. If we go ahead and hit this play button, we can see what that looks like. And same for down here, you can see it. So it's pretty simple. Now, if we just had a photo, we could do it the same way. We can also switch it. Next is your posting. So you can either post it right now by publish immediately, or you can schedule this to go out on Father's Day. So Father's Day, I believe, is the 16th. You can also set your time. So if you want it to go out early or later, you can adjust that accordingly. And then you can go ahead and schedule posts or save draft or publish. That's going to give me another preview of what those look like, just so I can make sure everything is good and I can do schedule post. And once I've scheduled it, I can come in and view it in my calendar. You'll see it's scheduled here, 8 a.m. If I scroll down, I see that scheduled 2 channels on June 16th at 8 a.m. It's going to post here as well as here. I can still come in and edit this. I can also delete it, remove it. I'm going to go ahead and delete. Not actually going to post that one right now. But for social posts, you'll also see that there are some quick posts. So these are short little posts that you can go ahead and use. So if you like one of these, you can shuffle through as well. If you like one of these and you want to use one, you just hit this little share button. It's going to bring you into that same thing where you do a create campaign, select your social media, but it already has all of the content, the video or photo, everything included. So I don't really have to do anything extra. I can do the logo, the ownership statement, have those applied. As you can see, it puts them down there for me. And then I can just go ahead and publish or schedule. So they do have those as well, the quick little posts. Before we move on to the email signature, I'm just going to take a quick look at the chat. Let's see. Susan, I'm not sure I'm following your question. If you want to add some additional details, I can see if I can help. A lot of these features, unfortunately, in designs are not accessible on the Command mobile app yet. At some point they may be, but designs is more computer-based right now. In fact, if you're even trying to do it through Google Chrome on your phone, you may experience errors. So it is best to use on a desktop right now. How do you add profiles for social media? So that is through your settings. They must be business accounts. The reason for that, Mike, is that Facebook has very strict rules on advertising through your personal accounts. So I know firsthand some agents that have lost their accounts. So just be careful when you're posting on personal with business related things. But yes, as far as actual advertising, it will only allow you to connect to a business page through Command. And Susan, I was just saying, if you wanted to add your photo, like your agent headshot with your agent information or something like that, you can. I didn't necessarily need another photo for Father's Day. Yes, sorry, the app is just not as user-friendly with the design section. All right, guys, we are going to keep going. If I missed your question, I can come back to it, or if you want to ask it again, we can take another look at it when once we get through this. But we will go ahead and go back to designs because I do want to go over creating an email signature with you and how to add it to your email. So we're going to go back to create design. Now we're creating an email signature. Some people would think that's under email. However, it is under social. These are like email templates. So they look very different. If you're interested in those, although we do have a class on those that you can attend. Now, once we're back in templates, it's bringing me back to where I was, which is totally fine. But what we want to take a look at this time is the business basics section. And we actually want to take a look at these email signatures. So as you can see, there's just 2 of them. So you get to pick whichever one you like, not to say you can't customize it, change the color, etc. So we're going to go ahead and use this red one for today's class. And we're just going to start editing it. Now there's a lot more to edit on this than the last one. So the first thing I want to do is swap out that photo. So I'm going to click on the photo and click on, make sure I'm on images and my assets. And we're going to go ahead and replace that image and put Scott there. And then we're going to start editing our text, but we'll do logo first since that's up top. And we want to go back to my assets. And again, I just like to replace. It's so much easier. It puts it in the same little space. For realtor, we can change this right here. Now, all I did was double click on this. Now, there is another way that you can edit text. You can click on the text and then click the typewriter. That will open a separate little box where you can type in your numbers and hit save, and it will update that here. And then also you can use your assets. So if you updated those and you have information like this, you can go to text, my assets, and then you can pull in whatever information. I don't have the address there, and that's okay. We're going to leave it, but we'll come down to the phone number. Now this one I like to point out because if you swap the text here, you'll notice this is putting in the mobile, office, email, and your website. If you replace that with just a phone number, it's just replacing the one thing. So the best way to replace these items that have multiple things in one text box is to physically edit it. However, for your app right here, if you have your branded app code, that is super easy to just swap out. And it makes it a ton, like way faster for you guys instead of trying to memorize that number. Because I don't know about you guys, but I have enough numbers memorized. I'm not trying to learn another one. So that makes it really easy for me. But if I want to edit the phone number, emails, things like that, I can go ahead and double click on those, highlight what I want to update. Oops, I'm clicking all kinds of buttons. Woo. I swear I can type except for when I teach. Right, so we've edited all of that information. If we like this, we can go ahead and download it and start using it. If you don't like the red background, again, you can change that if you want it to be blue or purple or gray, whatever color you want. You can certainly adjust that. Just make sure that you are within compliance for your local office. Every office is different, so we do recommend checking with your broker in charge or compliance coordinator. Every once in a while, there are restrictions with logos and things like that, so just make sure. But again, if we don't like this and we want to customize it a little bit further, we certainly can. Put the logo up here. I can move Scott's name. I could click on it. It's just not liking that right now. Well, sometimes it's a little finicky. It just does not want me to type on that Scott section. Wonder if we make sure this is back. Nope, still not. Okay, well, we edited a second ago, but apparently it's not letting us now. But if we wanted to move this around further, if we wanted to move the line or delete it, I know people don't like that it's over the picture sometimes. So you can certainly move that over if you want. If you want to move your license number down or I was trying to move the name above realtor, but it apparently doesn't like me today. We can move this down though. So you can adjust that however you like. So super customizable, but once we're done, we want to hit download. And then we want to change this off to a JPEG or PNG and download that to our computer. Now, we get questions about this being a clickable link. Unfortunately, this cannot be a clickable link through command. So you could add the entire image to be a clickable link when you're doing this. Or add the link below it, however you want to do that. Now, once we're done with that, we're going to pull up our KW email. So I've got mine right here. Now, once you're in your KW email, you can go into your settings by clicking on the little gear. See all settings. And from there, if we scroll down, you'll get to a section called signature. And you can edit your signature right here. So if we're going to create a new one, I'm going to do 6 of 24, create. And from there, I can go ahead and hit this little insert image. And I'm going to drag over my signature that I just made. And as you can see, it's fairly large. I can make it smaller, leave it original size. If you want it a different size, we recommend using like an image resizer site or Canva to resize that to make it whatever size you want it exactly. Because if you're just selecting these, there's not a ton of customization there. But once you have it how you like it, the last thing you want to do is make sure you turn it on. So you do want to make sure these signature defaults are set up. Otherwise, it's not going to show up. So you want to have it for new emails and on replies and forwards if you want those on for both of them. Once we're done, we just hit save changes. It'll bring us back into our inbox and we can hit compose where we can see that right here. Oops. Now, obviously that is huge, so we probably don't want it that size. We probably want to resize it. You can certainly drag it every time, or like I said, resize it and then put it in. But once you're all set and you're happy with that, you can go ahead and move on. Alrighty, I'm gonna take a quick look at the questions. If anybody has a question that was missed or anything that we didn't cover that you'd like to ask a question on, go ahead. Real fast before we jump into those, I am gonna go over the video really quickly, but it'll only take a second. So then I can go through questions with you guys. So if we want to create a quick neighborhood video, we go ahead and click the video option under Create Design. And these are super easy because there's not a lot of work for you to do on them. And then you pick the area that you're interested in. So I'm just going to pick one. Once we do that, you'll notice that it's going to pull up the information. So average home price, average home prices are on the rise. It's going to give me all of that information. It's going to show some top 3 neighborhoods. All of this can kind of be customized. It then is pulling my agent information. So this is pulling from my marketing profile. So if that is not up to date, this will not pull correctly. And then it's also pulling my brokerage information from my marketing profile as well. Now, once we're all set and we're happy with that, we can go ahead and next, and it is going to generate a quick little video for you. So we'll just wait for that 1 second. All right, and now we have a quick little video that we can use for social media. So we can post this to Facebook, Instagram. This is what it goes through. All right, guys, so that was it. So now I can save that and use that same as I did for the Father's Day. I can post it on social media through command. I can even download it and upload it straight to my socials if I want to. But it's, like I said, really quick, really easy, and just a short way to create a little bit of a video. All right. Well, we are all done. So we have 15 minutes left, which is perfect for any questions or anything I need to go back over. So I'm going to go ahead and stop record so we can go over any additional questions.